Hello everybody and welcome to your recovery class. So I know we've been through a couple of these movements before, but today we're going to combine all of them, and I really just want you to push through the uncomfortable, and I promise you your body will feel good afterwards. So before we even start with our recovery class, I just want to give you some tips that, let's say you've done a strong workout, you're feeling really stiff, or you're struggling with any parts of your body. We're really going to work head to toe, so making sure that the whole body feels really good. So you can actually do this after a workout, you can do this in front of the TV. If you feel that you don't actually feel like working out on a specific day, then you can just come back to this class, and I promise you, you will make your body feel amazing. So if you struggle with headaches, if you struggle with your hip flexibility, if you struggle with back pain, if you feel that your shoulders are pulling forward because of poor posture, sitting all day, whatever it is, this is the class for you. Another thing, if you are struggling with your quads, often people don't actually stretch out their quads or their hip flexors, so we are going to work the full body and make sure that you feel absolutely amazing. So before we start, please make sure you have one of these 4 things. If you do not have a foam roller at home, please don't stress, you don't have to use a foam roller. But if you do have one, I suggest you use your foam roller for some of the movements, and then just make sure that you have a towel. So I actually have a little piece over here. I have no idea how they made this, but I would imagine if you take a pool noodle, you could cut it in half and actually create one of these. I actually got it from the bio. Whoopsie. So we could use this for your relaxation towards the end. This is actually just to release into the spine and release into the shoulder blades. But if you do not have that, please do not stress. You can use a rolled up towel. So making sure that you use a proper bath towel. You will open it up. You will just fold it in half. And then you'll actually just roll it, creating a little tube using the towel. So you can use that. So obviously making like a foam roller a little bit softer. So if you really struggle with your back, I suggest maybe using a towel and not something so hard as your foam roller. If you feel that your foam roller has these little knobs on them, again, if you really struggle with your lower back, guys, I suggest using a towel first, just so you're a little bit more gentle on the body, and then when you feel that you start loosening up the back, you are more than welcome to invest in a foam roller. If you do not have any of these and a towel is not close by to you, you are more than welcome to use a yoga mat. The same thing, rolling it up nice and tight. We are making this little tube shape with the actual yoga mat. So there is so many things that you can use. Just make sure that you have one of them, or you have 2 of them. If you're going to get a towel and a yoga mat, or your foam roller and your yoga mat, you can decide what you need to use, but please make sure that you are ready for today's class. So just getting things around you, you can light some incense. You can see that there's incense in that side of the room. And I just thought obviously to use the lounge space just because there's obviously more space for me to be filmed. But also just showing you that you can do these movements absolutely anywhere. You can put on your favorite music, maybe get everyone in the household involved to do some stretches with you, or put on your favorite show, move some things around, and just stretch in front of the TV. Like I say, there is just no excuses for a sore body anymore. There is so much knowledge on every kind of platform, so please make sure that you stretch. I know that for myself, I often avoid stretching my quads, my hip flexors, and also I often don't warm up. I have learned, because this is also obviously why I had an injury, I would just go into thinking that my body is still 16. It's not, it's 30. So making sure that as much as you're putting effort in to feel the best kind of body that you want to have, make sure that you put the effort in to also release any tense muscles, and you'll feel that after this class you are going to feel like you have a new body. So I'm going to give you just a few minutes. I'm going to set up my little space, and then I will see you soon. Welcome back, and I hope that you set up your beautiful space for yourself. So we're going to start with your rolled up yoga mat, your rolled up towel, or you're going to actually use your foam roller, and we're actually going to just start on our back, keeping it nice and simple. I want you to place that foam roller into the arch of that lower back. Once we have placed our shoulders onto the floor, you can move the foam roller around, just depending how your body feels. So we're rolling our bodies onto our backs. Now, placing it just above the coccyx, or just above those dimples, or on those dimples on your back. You're going to keep a bend into the knees. Watch that, my buttocks says lift off the floor. You're going to place the arms alongside you, and keeping it nice and simple, we're just going to rock the knees left to right. So again, if you feel that you've used your foam roller and it is too intense because you've struggled with your back, you've never stretched your back, then just roll up your towel, use a yoga mat, and you will do exactly the same movements. So we're just rocking the knees left to right. Sometimes you'll feel that the foam roller does move up. That is absolutely fine. And then I want you to feel, guys, that if you feel a niggle into your body, we're going to hold it. We're going to breathe. Also, another thing, foam rolling is horrible. That's why people avoid it. But I promise you, it is such an important thing to really help your body, especially when we're getting older, guys. You need to do the recovery just as much as we do the workout. So you're going to keep rocking. I want you to close your eyes. And again, if you feel a niggle in that back, pushing into the glutes, you're going to hold it. You'll take a breath in, breath out. And then you'll keep rocking those legs, really just feeling it into the body. Almost start to feel that the longer we go into this movement, the deeper you can push the legs. So really just allowing those legs to drop, you're going to start to feel that it's pushing into that lower back. It's pushing into the top half of your glutes. And then for me, I can immediately feel that tightness into my hips. So as I rock my knees to the right hand side, I can actually feel the pressure into my side of my back, into that hip. So these things are normal. That's why I say if you're holding that pressure, you want to breathe into it, not panic. If you're starting to sweat, promise you foam rolling does make you sweat, but just breathe through it. And try not get into your head about how uncomfortable the movement becomes. Just breathe. So exactly like we would do in a yoga class, breathe, my beautifuls, breathe. We just have a few more rocks to do, so keep moving. You have 2 or 3 more rocks left to do in that body. Once you've done your last one, slowly pull those knees back to your center. Readjust your yoga mat, readjust your foam roller, your towel, just placing a little bit closer towards your coccyx. Now, nice and simple, you're going to pull the knees into your chest, and you're just going to hold it. If you have that foam roller a little bit more intense, but just breathe into it. It's giving you that extra height into the lower back, into the glutes. So really just stretching out into that lower back, feeling a release, feeling that compression into the belly. So these simple movements, guys, as much as they look nice and easy, here, stretching into the lower back, stretching into the glutes, and then also creating pressure into the belly, so you'll feel that we actually start to work into the belly, really just helping the digestive system. If you can, pull the legs just a little bit closer. I had to breathe because I was pushing into my back. And then slowly we're going to release the legs to the floor. You can drop one leg at a time, just looking after that body. Now extending both legs out, keeping that buttocks lifted up off the floor. If you are on your towel and the butt is slightly touching the floor, do not stress, this is normal. Right, you're going to pull that left knee into your chest, wrap the fingers around the knee. Now pull that leg nice and close and feel that release that starts to happen. You want to make sure you're relaxing into your feet, you're flattening out into your back, and you're breathing in, breathing out. If you feel any tense or stiff energy into that hip, into your groin, I actually want you to just release the leg out and then put it back in. So you can feel the stretch everywhere in the body except for your groin. If you're feeling your groin, just release the hip, help it move a little bit, and then come back to the stretch. Again, once we're here, guys, close your eyes, breathe into it, and almost just feel that as you hold the pose for longer, you can always push your body just a tiny bit deeper. Pulling that left knee even closer. And then a nice gentle movement. Like we do on the floor, you're going to drop that left hand to the floor. There's a slight tilt into that pelvis. We're rocking onto the right side, taking the left leg across the body. Now twist and hold it. If you're feeling any tense or stiff energy into the groin, please release the hip, release the movement first, and then come back into it. twisting, breathing, holding, and just acknowledging the uncomfortable, acknowledging how intense your movements can feel. Right, now a really hard part, you'll feel that you're pushing into that right glute. I'm feeling it more to the top of my right glute than I am anywhere else. And I can actually feel that pull into my right knee. Here, try relax. So try not to tense up the body because it's uncomfortable. Try relax into the stretch. Breathe into it. Nice and slow, putting that leg back to your center. Hey yo. Now gently dropping into that left leg, extending it out, and exactly the same thing on the opposite side. Pull that right knee into your chest, relax the feet, wrap the fingers, and then pull that leg nice and close. Relaxing into the face, broadening into your back, close those eyes, just breathe in, just breathe out. That leg a little bit closer, start to breathe just a little bit deeper. And then a nice gentle movement, we're going to drop that right hand onto the floor. There's a slight twist into the pelvis, take that right leg across the body, twisting into your back, twisting into your belly, and hold it. Breathing in, breathing out. Relaxing into the feet, feeling the intensity of your stretch. Dropping that body just a little bit deeper. And then a nice slow movement, pull that leg back to your center. Smoothly dropping into that right leg, now extending both legs out, lifting those arms up, and hold it. Feeling a release into your pelvis, feeling that weight is lifted out of those hips. Close those eyes, breathe in, breathe out. One more deep breath in, one more deep breath out. Let that body relax even further. And then slowly pull those arms back down. I want you to bend into those knees, just supporting that body. And then smoothly you're going to drop the glutes to the floor. You're going to lift the bodies up using your hands, and I want you to take your foam roller, your towel, or your yoga mat, and you're going to roll it into where you would place your bra strap. So actually in line with those shoulder blades or where those wings actually come out. Now, obviously, depending, if you have a foam roller, you are going to be rolling up and down. If you are not, my brain's already in recovery. So if you're not using a foam roller, you are just going to actually lift the hips up and just rock the body side to side. If you are working on your foam roller, you are rolling up and down, and then keeping that tightness into the hamstrings, making sure that you're pulling the elbows forward to keep that head supported. So if your neck is getting sore, it just means you're not supporting your neck. And then roll, either rocking side to side or rolling into that space. Close those eyes and breathe. Going for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, dropping the buttocks to the floor, releasing those arms. Now taking that foam roller, your towel, your yoga mat, underneath your neck. So if you've got little ridges in your foam roller, please just be conscious of keeping your neck moving. You're not going to hold any of it just because it gets a little bit intense, and obviously there's lots of nerve endings in the head and the neck, so we want to look after the body. If your foam roller is smooth, or you're using your towel or your yoga mat, you are more than welcome to actually push into the neck, hold that stretch, feel it, breathe, and then keep rocking. So exactly like we did with our knees and our hips, rocking them side to side, holding it. But if you have these little nodules on your foam roller, please do not hold it, just keep rocking your neck. So lying onto your back, placing that foam roller into the skull, so the lower part of that skull, and then gently rock the body rock your head side to side, just releasing into your neck. A really powerful movement you can do right in front of your TV. So if you struggle with headaches, guys, please make sure just to roll the neck out, release it. When your eyes are ready, close them and just breathe. Deeper breaths in, deeper breaths out. Those of you that are working with your smooth surface, you are more than welcome to hold the niggles. So if you're feeling pressure into the skull, hold it. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Whatever you do, just keep releasing that neck. Breathing in, breathing out. Going for another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing that foam roller from your head. Releasing your yoga mat, and then everyone just lifting your bodies up. And we're going to help ourselves onto our knees. So again, you are going to use whatever you have at home. That's the thing. That's, I think, the most beautiful thing about working out at home is you can use everything. You can use your couch, you can use absolutely anything to actually help you stretch. Now, placing your towel or your foam roller, obviously your towel is going to give you a little bit more of a stretch. So enjoy. We are going into your puppy pose. Puppy pose is so powerful for your back. So if you struggle with your back, if you struggle with spine flexibility, this is the pose for you. I'm going to show you on the towel first, and then obviously I'll use the foam roller. So knees are going to be underneath the hips. You're going to place the wrists onto your towel, and then you're going to feel that you're pushing your chest towards the floor. I want you to feel that you can release your belly, and then imagine that you're dropping the chin or the forehead towards the floor, holding it, breathing into it, and almost feel that you're pushing into your armpits. Exactly the same thing using your foam roller. So wherever you're at with your body, with your little devices, let's go pushing into that puppy pose, really feeling it into the armpits, into the back. If you would like to, on your foam roller, you can work with gentle rocks back and forth. And then wherever you are, guys, close those eyes, feel the uncomfortable stretch. Those of you that struggle with shoulder mobility, also a really cool one for you. We're holding it for another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly roll the bodies up. Putting your towel or your foam roller, your yoga mat closer towards you. Now going deeper into our puppy pose, you are placing the elbows, the back of the elbows onto that device, and then we're going to do exactly the same stretch. So you've got to wiggle around. Hey yo, you can see how tight my shoulders are. Hands can go up above the head, or you can actually take them towards the back of the neck. And let's go, holding that puppy press, puppy pose, placing that forehead closer towards the floor, the foam roller, and hold it and breathe. Feeling that opening into the back, feeling that opening into the shoulders, that opening into the armpits. Now close those eyes, breathe. Just allow that body to sink a little bit deeper if you can. And then a nice slow movement, roll, pull the body out of it. Control it, immediately feeling a release into your back. Hey yo, now taking away your foam roller, taking away, obviously keeping it close by. I just want everyone to drop into a child's pose here. So obviously we've pushed into that spine, so we're creating that push into the belly. Now we want to release it. So just dropping into your child's pose, relaxing into your head, closing those beautiful eyes. And again, guys, just breathe. And this time in your child's pose, I want you to gently rock the body side to side, just releasing the body. Holding it for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, lifting those bodies up. Taking your device, and this time you're going to place it onto those quads just above the knees. Please make sure that you're not placing them on the actual knees. You're placing them above, and we're going to keep moving that device further and further up until it actually hits the pubic bone. So now we're dropping onto the elbows, making sure it's just above the knees. So if you've got your towel a little bit more delicate on the body, but you're pushing into the elbows, please make sure you are not dropping or arching into your back. Guys, you are going to hurt your back. So here, you're keeping your shoulders quite active, arms quite active. Hands can be flat on the floor, together, whatever feels good. We're going to bend it to the knees slightly, and you're going to just rock the body side to side, For those of you on the foam roller, or for those of you with really tight quads, enjoy. Right, so just rocking side to side. We're not rolling up and down. It is a completely different movement. Now close those eyes, feeling all those little niggles in the quads. Now breathe. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And then slowly moving that device a little bit higher up the quad, and exactly the same movement, rocking side to side, feeling all those bumps. Breathing in, breathing out. Hey, yo. Good, you have another 2 or 3 left to do. Then we're going to move higher up the quad just slightly, and again, rocking that body side to side. And then close those eyes, breathe into that uncomfortable. Another 2 or 3. And then rolling a little bit higher up the quad again, rocking those legs side to side, keeping a bend into the knees, please. Breathe in, breathe out. Another 2 or 3. And then rolling a little bit higher up the quad, and then rocking that body left to right. Good, 2 or 3. And then last little roll, a little bit higher up the quads. This is the last time we are rocking the body left to right. Breathe into it. I promise I'm sweating. I'm absolutely dying right now because my quads are so tight. Just breathe, just breathe. Good, we have another 2 or 3 left to do. And then slowly coming back to that center. This time, rolling that body off your mat, rolling it off your towel, whatever it is. Now, lying flat into the belly, and you are going to put your device at an angle. So, depending where your body's at, depending how your hips work, how your knees work, the idea is we're going to place, so that little chunky piece of the knee into the inside of the leg, you're going to place that foam roller, the edge of the foam roller, the edge of your towel, into that chunky piece of the knee, and we're going to actually work with rotations. Okay. Again, this can get really uncomfortable, especially if you're using a foam roller. Just breathe. We are not going to do this forever, and I promise you, after these movements, you will literally feel like you have a new body. Magic stuff. I feel like I should be on the beach looking like this. Let's go. So, you're going to wiggle around. You're going to have to adjust it. I'm placing my body onto the elbow, and I'm taking my knee into that foam roller, the chunky piece of my knee. So naturally there's that arch and that opening into the hip. Now, it doesn't matter which way you go, we've got to do 5 rotations one way. So you're going to lift that leg and rotate into the knee. Remember, if you are using your towel, you are getting less pressure, and that is okay. You are still gently massaging the body. Here, we got another 3 to do. Oh my goodness. 2. Little kicks in the body are also really good. It's just the body adjusting itself. And 1. Exactly the same movement, just the opposite way. So let's go. There's my brain, it needs to work. Hey, yo. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Nice, guys. Slowly releasing that leg. We're going to swap over. I'm just going to make sure that I'm facing you so that you can see the movement of my body. Again, lying onto that belly. Wiggle around, readjust. Placing that foam roller, towel, or yoga mat into that part, and then when you're ready, let's start with those rotations. We've got another 2 to do, and slowly going into number 1. Hey yo, and then start rotating the opposite way. Slowly going into that last one. Nice, guys. Nice and slow, you're going to release that leg. And then again, just pull the bodies back into your child's pose. Just releasing into the body always in child's pose, a very restorative pose. So that's why we use it to actually calm down the brain and the body. So bend into the elbows, close those beautiful eyes. Just breathe in, just breathe out. Nice and slow, lifting those bodies up. Now, working into our hips, we're not even going to use any of our little props. Please just keep them close by to you because we are going to use them soon. So, naturally, we love to store tension into our hips. Remember, hips are all about moving forward. All we are going to do, I know it looks like a little bit of a strange movement, but we are just releasing into the hips. So you're going to lie onto your belly, and you're going to work with hip rocks. So you're going to place the hands underneath your head, dropping the forehead onto the floor, and you're literally just rocking your hips left to right. A really nice way to loosen up into stored, stuck energy in the body. Now close those eyes and just keep rocking that pelvis. So almost you want to feel that the pelvis doesn't get stuck, the hips don't get stuck. It's a nice smooth movement. They're just rolling into one another. A nice simple yet strange way to release the body. Good. Going for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow. Lifting those bodies up. And again, pulling yourself back into a child's pose. Just giving yourself a nice big exhale. And then slowly, beautifuls, lifting those bodies up. Now, enjoy the pain. Using your foam roller, using your yoga mat, or using a towel. I'm going to show you with the towel first. Towel a little bit less invasive, but we're placing it into this piece of the arm. Again, something we never think to stretch, something we never think to actually release. We're pushing the towel into that space. I'll obviously use the foam roller now. And then you'll actually just lie and roll left to right. So watch that my body stays on the floor. You're going to push. If you feel a niggle, hold it, breathe into it. Exactly the same thing, except if you're using your foam roller, you are going to roll up and down. It just makes it easier because of obviously this foam roller is a little bit more stable. But placing that part, hey, yo, into the body, and then you're going to roll into that armpit. Again, it is absolutely nasty, this one, guys. It's horrible. I avoid these all the time. So today I actually forced myself to do this because I had to film it. So I feel the pain. I feel how uncomfortable it gets. But let's go for another 3, 2, and 1. Let's slowly swap over. So shifting over into the opposite side again. I'm just going to keep facing the camera. And then when you're ready, placing that armpit, that piece of your arm into your foam roller. And then you're either shifting forward or back or rolling up and down. Breathe into the uncomfortable. Hold it if you have a niggle. Hoo-wee. Good. We're nearly there. Promise. Going for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, guys. Lifting those bodies up. Right, now we're going to work into pressurizing into those legs. So if you don't have your foam roller, you are not going to use a towel for this, just because the towel just actually doesn't have that stiffness or that pressure that you want. If you are using your foam roller, you are obviously going to use it with me. If not, you are going to actually take your fingers. You're going to find where there's a sore piece in the knee or actually further up into the quad. You'll put pressure into it and then you're actually going to rock the leg. So depending on where you're at in your body, you are going to decide. You're either going to use the foam roller. So watch that. I'm just bent my leg, my other leg is straight. Foam roller is pushing into those parts and you're massaging the sore parts of the body. If you do not have your foam roller, guys, use your fingers, find a sore part in that leg, and then once you found it, you're going to just do about 3. Then find another sore little piece in that leg, and then you'll go again. Okay, so wherever you're at in your body, you decide foam roller, no foam roller, just massaging into those sore areas of the body. Hey, yo, I didn't realize my quads were this stiff, guys. Good. I hope you're sweating just a little bit. So recovery isn't always easy, but it is so vitally important. So please make sure to recover. Make sure to look after your body. Let's go for another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly extending that opposite leg out, pulling that leg in, and again, you're either working with your fingers, finding pressure points, and then actually just gently moving the legs, softening into those spaces, or else you're using your foam roller, finding those sore parts, pushing into them, holding, breathing, crying maybe a little bit, and then just keep moving, just keep grooving. Going for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, you're going to release that foam roller, your towel, and then all I want you to do is you're going to bend into both of those knees. Hands are coming behind your back. Please make sure that you're not sinking into your shoulders, but the arms are strong. You're pushing into the palm of those hands, into the knuckles, and just gently rocking the knees left to right. Just a nice way to massage into your glutes. A really nice way to release into the hips, to soften into that belly. And now when you're ready, close those beautiful eyes and just keep rocking that body left to right, feeling a release. Going for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, putting that knee or those knees back to your center. And then the very last stretch, guys, I want everyone to please make sure that you have a little hand towel. We're going to make sure that we're rolling it up nice and tight. And then all we are going to do is we're going to place this towel into the middle of our back. So in between the shoulders, I want you to make sure that the head is actually going to drop off the towel and we're going to open up into our throat. Another thing we never think to stretch is your throat. So we're going to stretch into your throat and then we're going to actually massage into those shoulder blades. Like I say, maybe even if you just choose 2 or 3 of these movements that you can do daily, it will take 5 minutes out of your life. That's why I say, just make sure that you do them. That first one we started off with is placing that foam roller in the lower back, rocking the knees. One of the most amazing stretches you can do. So doing that, rocking the knees, place it under your neck, rock your neck, and then you're done. You don't even have to do all of them in one go, but choose maybe 3 of your favorites and just keep stretching, making sure that you're moving the body in all kinds of ways. So getting strong in the body, but also getting flexible and mobile. Right, placing your towel down. Here you've got to wiggle around, make sure that your shoulder blades almost wrap around the towel. That head comes off. Opening up those legs a little bit wider than your hips. Now drop those arms alongside you. And then here, just give yourself permission to relax. Feeling a natural opening into the chest. Feeling that slight stretch into your throat. Now you're just breathing in, you're just breathing out. Feeling that release into the shoulder blades. Some of you might feel that this can get really uncomfortable, but breathe through it. Start to feel the body's releasing. So instead of creating tension, again, guys, relax. Tell your body it's okay to relax. Tell your brain it is okay to switch off. Just breathe. In this position, keeping the body exactly where it is, all I want you to do is lift those arms up just a little bit higher. Just opening up into the armpits a little bit more and pushing into those shoulders just a little bit differently. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, we're lifting those arms just a little bit higher. So more into a V shape this time, really feeling that pressure into the shoulders. If you cannot lift them higher, guys, that is okay. Keep them where they were and just breathe into it. Those armpits even more, really opening up into that chest. Just breathing in, breathing out. If you can't lift your arms higher, keep them where they were. And again, just breathe, my beautifuls. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Nice and slow, pull those arms back down into your V shape. Nice gentle movement. I want you to roll over to one of those sides. Just pull your towel away from you. And then slowly lift those bodies up. Right. So you can do that movement exactly the same one. Let's say you've got a pool noodle or you've got your yoga mat and it's a little bit longer. You would do exactly the same. You would just make sure that your coccyx is being supported. So you would place the coccyx at the bottom. And exactly the same thing we did is just lie there and relax. Here, guys, because so often what happens is our bodies are so used to actually moving forward because of just sitting at a desk all day, poor posture, driving. Sometimes life gets heavy, shoulders get heavy. So this happens. So this is all we are doing is actually releasing and moving the body in a completely different direction. So you are more than welcome to play around with these things. Like I say, please choose 3 movements, guys, and make sure you do them daily. I promise you, this one on your back, the one we started off with, D, rocking the knees and pulling and crossing. If you just incorporate those 3 movements daily, I promise you, you will feel an incredible change in your body. You'll feel that the back feels released. All of a sudden, your brain actually feels calmer. So what's really cool about the towel one that we did towards the end is it actually is about promoting that relaxation into the brain and the body. So just make sure to keep looking after your body, your brain, your soul, and make sure to move in all kinds of ways, not just fitness, physical stuff. Make sure that you're doing the relaxing stuff as well. So whilst I'm here, just a little tip and trick actually. I only thought of it now because I saw Jerry's tennis ball over here. But if you struggle also with foot pain, with back pain, a really cool way to release it is get a tennis ball, sit on a chair. You can sit in front of the TV. And then you're going to place the ball underneath the foot. You're going to try and lift your toes up and you're going to just massage into that foot. You can massage into the arch, into the outside, and I'm literally watching TV. There's no excuse. And then you'll obviously do it into the other side. So what's really cool about that is actually working into your fascia. If your fascia is tight, if you had to imagine, if you're not sure what a fascia is, you know when you've boiled an egg and sometimes when you peel the shell off, there's always that little leftover layer of skin and then the shell doesn't come off properly. That is what we've got in our bodies. It's called your fascia. If the fascia is tight, you'll feel that the body can get quite uncomfortable. So I think the next video I should do is actually showing you some movements you can do with the tennis ball. Thanks, Jerry. You're so sweet. But please make sure to roll, whether you're using your towel, your foam roller, just make sure to look after, to support, to love that body in all kinds of ways. So thank you so much for recovering, taking the time to look after your body, and I will see you soon.